Hello everyone, this is part 6 of What If Naruto Married Hinata Early, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist to see more. Comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
As the days went by, Naruto and Hinata officially haven't seen each other for about a week and 5 days. Naruto was only a mile from reaching Konoha and he was ready to race away to go see Hinata, though Kakashi wouldn't let him. Hinata began reading the book Jiraiya gave her a few days ago. She never got really far because of training. She was almost done with the second chapter, she only had about 5 more pages left. As Hinata read, she got that weird tingly feeling in her stomach. Ignoring it, she went back to reading the book. She is in her room. Naruto-san, I can get her if you want, or do you want to go by yourself? One of the maids asked. It's fine, I will go myself, thank you. Naruto said, hiding his excitement. Kakashi got angry at him and decided to let the young boy race away to go see Hinata. The maid then bowed and walked off. Naruto rushed quietly over to Hinata's room. Taking a deep breath, he slid the door open. Hey Hinata-chan. Naruto almost choked on air when he saw her reading one of his teacher's perverted books. Hinata-chan, don't read such filth, Naruto said, taking the book away from her as fast as he can, his face red in embarrassment. Huh? Hinata said, confused. Where did you get this? Naruto asked. From J. Jiraiya-sama. He offered it to me for advice. Hinata responded. Or advice? Or about what? Naruto asked, confused. God, I didn't want Hinata to read such filth. And what does she mean by advice? God, when I see that pervert, I'm going to beat his ass. Naruto thought quietly to himself, though you could see he was angry. Since he was holding up his fist in the air. Well, I don't know much about what you do in our relationships. And Sakura and Ino said I was innocent, like it was a bad thing. In needed help. Hinata said, nervously embarrassed. That Sakura and Ino. Hinata being innocent isn't bad at all, ya no. Naruto grumbled angrily. He looked over at the shy girl who was looking down nervously in shame. He sighed, then smiled and went over and wrapped his arms around her. I missed you a lot. Naruto whispered in her ear. I am missed, why you too? Hinata stammered. Hinata felt Naruto's grip on her tighten. I worried a lot about you, like if anything bad happened to you. Naruto choked worryingly. I worried about you too. Hinata responded and wrapped her arms around him. Naruto felt relieved to know that she worried about him too. Removing his arms, he then looked at the shy girl and smiled, leaning forward, his lips pressed against hers. Hinata returned the kiss and wondered if Naruto would be disappointed if she didn't French kiss him like Ino said. Gaining confidence, Hinata slipped her tongue through an opening, entering his mouth. She could feel Naruto's body tense at her action and she thought she made the wrong decision until his tongue dominated her and she felt his tongue wandering in her mouth. She tried the same to dominate him many times but failed. Hinata felt Naruto place his hands on her waist. Right now she felt like she was going to melt into a puddle. After a few more moments they broke the kiss. Breathing heavily, they looked at each other, eyes that were filled with lust. Wow, Naruto breathed. Hinata could only manage to look back down at the ground. Was it bad? Hinata asked, concerned. No, it was. It was surprising and well, I really liked it. Where did you learn that from? Naruto said shyly, though he thought the answer was obvious since Hinata read his pervert teacher's book. Thank God, and well Ino-chan said that you might be disappointed in me since haven't done it yet. Hinata said quietly. Hinata, I would never be disappointed in you, but I'm really happy you did it. Naruto grinned. I would like to do it more often than since you liked it. Is that okay with why you Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, looking away. Naruto's face turned red, then he smiled and gave her another hug. Please do it as much as you want. Naruto whispered in her ear. Hinata's face turned a deeper red after hearing him say that. Okay. Hinata stuttered. So how about that date I promised you? Naruto asked while he broke the hug. Okay. Hinata said shyly. When night fell, the couple sat on top of the Hokage monument staring up at the stars, the moon glowing down on them. Pretty. Hinata said. Yeah, it sure is. Naruto signed. He was glad to be back home. After a few moments, Naruto turned his gaze on Hinata. She was truly a goddess. Her pale, smooth skin, her beautiful eyes, her dark raven hair, he figure shining in the moonlight. He was truly lucky to have such a wonderful girl in his life, maybe too lucky. Hinata felt Naruto's gaze rest on her. Turning her head over to look at him, she looked straight into his blue orbs. She was lost in them, they were the purest of blue that you could see. Naruto took his chance and leaned it, hoping for her to deepen their kiss. He was right too, right when their lips met and he gave her entrance she took it, though this time she dominated him. Naruto didn't know when Hinata gained such courage, but he loved it. Suddenly a light flashed. Click, click, click. Turning around they saw the Hokage with a camera taking shots of them. Oh no, we've been noticed. The Hokage chuckled. Damn you Bar-chan. And who is we? Naruto snapped as he got to his feet and began walking towards her, with a death aura. We'll take a leave now. The Hokage laughed as she began racing away with a familiar pervert. Hope I gave you great advice, Hinata. Jiraiya yelled in the distance. Damn those two freaks. Naruto snapped angrily but relaxed when he saw Hinata looking at him. Jiraiya, thank you for the great advice, but I didn't get far because of Naruto took away the book you gave me. Hinata said sadly. Naruto walked over to Hinata and sat down next to her, and intertwined his fingers with hers, and let out a sign. Hey Hinata-chan, you know Christmas is coming up soon, and so is your birthday. I was wondering, instead of having a party, what about just a day of me and you alone? Naruto asked, rubbing the back of his head nervously. I would love that. Hinata smiled. Then it's settled. Naruto grinned. When he decided that he should take Hinata, he got to his feet and looked at her curious stare. It's getting pretty late, and I'd hate it if your father gets angry at you for being home late. Naruto said. Oh okay. Hinata stuttered. When the two reached the Hyuga compound they stopped to face each other. Thank you for the wonderful day. And returning. Hinata said, though she said the last part more quietly. Naruto smiled and wrapped his arms around her. You're welcome, beautiful. Naruto whispered in her ear. Hinata returned the hug with love. After a few moments passed by, Naruto looked down at her face and attached his lips to hers. The kiss was full of passion and love, and a little bit of desire. Naruto placed his hands on his beloved hips, then licked her bottom lip, asking for her entrance. Hinata, who was confused at first by his actions, soon understood and gave him her entrance. Their tongues danced around, wandering each other's mouths. After a few minutes the two backed away from the kiss, panting for air. When Naruto caught his breath he gave Hinata another hug, nuzzling her neck. Hinata flinched in surprise but soon relaxed. Using her hands she brought him up to his hair and began massaging his scalp. Naruto let out a moan of pleasure, and Hinata was happy with his response. Gee god Hinata-chan, I love it when you do that. Naruto stammered. That makes me happy. Hinata smiled. After a few more minutes Naruto back away, giving her a quick kiss. I'll see you tomorrow, princess. Naruto smirked. He liked calling her princess now, since the word fit her so perfectly. Bye Naruto-kun. Hinata smiled shyly, then ran off into Hyuga compound. Naruto smiled and left for his apartment. Naruto walked away from the training ground, his body sore from sparring with Lee and Neji. His back hurt, along with his shoulder and neck. Truth to be told though, he was happy because Hinata asked if she could give him a massage and he gladly accepted. Though right now she was at her place getting supplies, she said she would meet him at his apartment. So far since they started dating and they still have made no more progress than kissing. Naruto was dying to make more progress with Hinata, though he didn't want Hinata to be uncomfortable. He was hoping, since Christmas was in a few days long with her birthday, he would at least make more progress, because seeing Hinata's body when she wasn't wearing a jacket was enough to turn him on. When he reached his apartment he closed his door behind him and sighed tiredly. Looking at his apartment, it was as dirty as ever, and this would be the first time Hinata would see his apartment. Beside that time she took care of him when he had a nasty cold, or was it her? He couldn't remember. Thank God he still had a little bit of chakra left. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto yelled, making 10 clones appear. Alright guys, let's get to work. Hinata-chan is coming over. So let's clean this place up. Naruto ordered. No problem. The clones saluted, and soon after that they began cleaning. After a few minutes Naruto heard a knock on his door. Naruto-kun, are you here? Hinata asked. Ye come in Hinata-chan. Naruto said loudly after making his clones disappear. Looking at his apartment, it was nice and clean. Naruto watched as Hinata walked in slowly. He noticed she was carrying a bag full of items. So what do you want me to do? Naruto asked. Well, do you have anywhere to lay down on with your BB body being able to spread out? Hinata asked. Yay, my bed. Naruto responded. Oh, okay. Hinata nodded shyly. Naruto walked into his room with Hinata following him. Naruto watched Hinata grab a large towel out of her bag and laid it down on his bed. When she was finished, she grabbed out a bottle that looked like oil. Oh, okay, why you can lay down, but first see can you wear some S shorts? Or an I need you without a S shirt. Hinata stammered, her face a deep crimson red. Naruto chuckled from her stuttering, then went over wrapping his arms around her. Don't be so nervous, it's just me and you. Naruto whispered in musky tone. Hinata relaxed in his arms. He was right, she was just giving him a massage, so she shouldn't be so nervous. She was only going to touch his legs, back, and arms. Naruto stood back from her, gave her a peck on the forehead, then once again wrapped his arm around her waist, though this time. You. No, Hinata-chan, I don't ever think I told you I loved you. Hinata-chan, I love you. Naruto smiled warmly. Hinata's body tensed in surprise. Naruto-kun said he loved me. Naruto-kun said he loved me, he really did. If this is a dream, please don't ever wake me from it. Though she knew it wasn't a dream, she just thought she was the luckiest girl in the world. Sweat began falling down his face. He waited in silence to hear Hinata's response. She stood there stiff as a tree. Was she angry at him? Had he gone too far? Or was she happy that no words could explain it? Suddenly he felt Hinata's body melt into his arms, and could feel her arms wrap around him. What caught him off guard was what she said. I love you to Naruto-kun, I love you so much. I love you so much it hurts in a good way. Hinata whispered loud enough for him to hear. Naruto looked down at her and saw tears rolling down her face. He smiled and lifted his hand, wiping them away, and cupped her cheek. Lifting her chin up, he placed his lips on hers. After the long kiss, Naruto smiled down at her flushed face. All right, let me change quickly. Naruto grinned. But before Hinata left, she felt a hand on her shoulder stop her. Hinata-chan, you can stay, I'm not getting completely undressed, ya no. Also, you might enjoy the show. Naruto joked. Hinata's face became even darker, so she only gave a nod. Hinata tried not to watch him, but her eyes would move away. First he took off his jumpsuit. She was fine with that since he had a t-shirt on, but when she saw he was only wearing boxes, she was about to faint. Naruto grabbed a pair of black shorts and slipped them on. Then he slipped off his shirt and over at Hinata and gave her a giant grin when he saw how red her face was. She turned even more red, if that was possible, when he flexed his muscles for her. She began falling backwards, only for Naruto to catch her in a swift moment. Naruto grinned down at her flushed face, and gave her a quick kiss. When Hinata finally relaxed, Naruto let her go and looked at her with his famous grin. Oh god, how she loved when he grinned, it was her favorite expression. Alright, could why you lay down on your stomach? Hinata asked. Sure thing. Naruto said loudly as he plopped down on his bed and got comfortable. Hinata walked over to the side of the bed and grabbed the massaging oil and rubbed it on her hands. Going to the edge of the bed, she shakily began massaging his foot. Naruto immediately melted into her touch. The feeling of her small, smooth hands rub against his feet felt amazing. He couldn't wait until she got to his back and shoulders. Hinata began to rub his calves in a smooth rhythm. She could feel the tensed muscles in his calves and began making them relax and ease. She felt Naruto shiver at her every touch and began wondering if he didn't like it. How does it feel? Hinata asked shyly. I can't even explain on how good it feels, Hinata-chan. Naruto groaned in pleasure. Hinata was happy about his response, but when it was time to massage his back, she didn't know what to do. Well, she knew what to do, but she was too embarrassed to sit on his back. She wanted to give herself a mental punch. Naruto was counting on her. She shouldn't be worrying about the awkward potion. Exactly. Naruto wondered why she stopped until he felt Hinata crawl on top of him, sat down on his butt. His face began turning red until Hinata asked if he was alright, and he could only manage a nod. I'll start on your back now. Hinata stammered. Alright, Naruto responded. Hinata began massaging the edge of his back. She could hear sounds of pleasure coming from Naruto, and felt shivers go through his body at her every touch. Truth to be told, Naruto was trying to cover his moans of pleasure with his pillow, but it obviously wasn't working. He was so turned on right now that he didn't know if he was going to make it until Hinata was done. He felt his tense muscles relax at Hinata's touch. His body felt at ease beside his lower part of his body that was throbbing. He felt her finally reach his neck and instantly felt like he was in heaven. Her touch was so soft and her skin was so smooth, like silk. Gee God, Hinata, if this is the type of treatment I get, then I'll spar with your cousin and Lee anytime. If it makes it longer, I'll even let Kiba and Shino join. Naruto responded. Hinata let a small giggle, then began working on his neck. When she was done with his neck, she began on his shoulders. Hinata loved hearing his muffled moans of pleasure. She knew he was enjoying her massaging. When she finally was done, she got off the bed to go wash her hands. She heard Naruto let out a sign of relief. When Hinata came back from washing her hands, she saw Naruto fast asleep. She smiled warmly. After putting her supplies in her bag, she grabbed a blanket. Hat was at the end of his bed and wrapped it over him. Hinata heard him mumble something, but she couldn't hear what he said. Smiling, she leaned down and kissed him on the forehead. Suddenly his arms reached out, grabbing Hinata and pulling her down on the bed with him. Say a while, please. Naruto mumbled sleepily. Oh, okay. Hinata stammered. After a few moments, Hinata reluctantly placed her head on his bare chest to hear his heartbeat. You have a beautiful heartbeat, Naruto-kun. Hinata though to Herolf. After a few moments, she fell asleep to the sound of his heartbeat. Hinata stood next to a tree that held a swing. Tomorrow she would be celebrating Christmas. She always loved Christmas, though she never enjoyed receiving presents from thousands of people that respected her clan, along with herself. Though this Christmas was going to be special, because she was going to spend it with her beloved Naruto. It took her all her might to tell her father. Sure, he didn't take it too well that she told him they were dating. Though her father didn't like Naruto, he respected her decision. Though Neji told her that when she told her father that Neji caught him with a small smile. So right now she was standing next to the tree that held the swing Naruto always used to swing on during their academy days. Oh, how much she loved this tree. Though she never enjoyed seeing the sad child swing alone with no friends, she wished she became his friend sooner. She already bought Naruto a gift. She bought him a set of ninja tools, and she also knitted him a pair of orange and black gloves. I hope he likes them. Hinata whispered to herself. Staring up as the snow fell, she wondered what Naruto was doing at the moment. Naruto was racing around store to find the perfect gift for Hinata. Though every store he went to, he found nothing good enough for her. Right now he was looking at bracelet. Nodding his head, he moved on to the next row. This time a item piqued his interest. It was beautiful golden necklace with a small heart. Naruto smiled at the necklace. Looking at the price, he usually would choked on air from such a price, but since all of his latest missions have been paying off, he had more than 10 times the price. He wouldn't mind buying it, but he didn't know if Hinata would like it. Her gift had to be perfect. Suddenly he felt someone tap him on the shoulder. Turning his head around, he noticed Neji behind him. Oh hey Neji, what are you doing here? Naruto asked questioningly. Getting Tenten a present, and I'm guessing you're here to get Hinata-sama a present. Neji asked. Naruto could see a small smirk forming on the Hyuga's mouth. Yay, I was going to buy her this necklace, but, well, you see, I don't know if Hinata-chan would like it or not. Naruto sighed. Neji sighed in annoyance. Naruto, Hinata-sama would love anything you would get her, because it's coming from you. So I'm sure she would love it. Just make sure she has an amazing Christmas, or you'll regret it. Take care of her too. Neji mumbled. Really? Thanks Neji, you're the best. I promise I'll take good care of her, and I never go back on my word. Naruto said, giving him a sheepish grin. Yay, whatever. Anyways, I got to go. I asked for a certain bracelet to be made for Tenten. Neji said, though Naruto could see a smile forming on his lips. Alright, see you later Neji. Naruto grinned. When Naruto was finished buying the necklace, he went to go see the Hokage. The shopkeeper informed Naruto that the heart on the necklace opens up and you can put a small picture in it, and Naruto knew the old hag took a picture of him and Hinata kissing on the Hokage monument. With knocking on the door, he just slammed it open to see the Hokage doing paperwork like always. Naruto, what do you want? Don't you see I'm busy with paperwork since it's the busiest holiday? Tsunade grumbled angrily. Actually, I was wondering if you have that picture you took of me and Hinata-chan kissing. Naruto asked, walking up to her desk. Yay, of course, Tsunade said with a smirk as she turned over a picture frame holding the picture of the couple kissing. Naruto growled but regained his calmness. Anyways, I needed that picture, but smaller to fit in this. Naruto said, pulling out the box, then opening it. You see, the heart opens up and can hold a picture. Naruto grumbled. Is that for Hinata? Tsunade grinned. Yay. Can you do it? Naruto asked questioningly. Of course I can. Just leave the box here and I'll have it ready in an hour. The Hokage nodded. Thanks, Granny Tsunade. Naruto grinned. When Naruto walked the busy streets of Konoha, the loneliness began kick in. Usually he was used to the horrid feeling, but now since he had Hinata and his friends he began to forget the feeling, but not fully. It would always hid away until the moment came, then it flooded over him. Pushing away the feeling, he began walking towards his apartment, but he stopped at the bone-chilling voice. Suddenly he was in the familiar dark sewers, with the familiar large orange fox with red eyes. What do you want, Kyubi? Naruto asked in a not-so-harsh tone, but annoyed tone. Though secretly he was glad to have the fox accompany him since he was bored. Nothing really, just was a bit lonely, you could say. The fox growled. Naruto began to wonder what has been going on with the fox. Usually he would glare at the blonde boy with anger and hate, though nowadays the fox just seemed really lonely and bored. Naruto wished he could do something but was afraid that something bad would happen. I'm sorry, but there is nothing I can really do about it, but I promise I will visit you more often, and I never go back on my promise. Naruto grinned. The fox's reply was a low growl. So, how are you and Hinata? The demon grumbled with a prick of interest. Naruto was surprised that he knew. Usually he didn't care about Naruto's daily life, though he knew about Hinata. We're fine, ya no. Naruto looked down happily. You've changed a lot, your father and mother would be proud. The fox mumbled silently. The demon admitted to himself that he's grown a soft spot for the boy. He lived a rough life like he had. He had something dearly taken away from him, along with himself. The Sage of Six Paths Keeper. Naruto looked up, his eyes widened in surprise. Why, you know my parents? Naruto sputtered in disbelief. Yes, indeed I do know who they are. The fox growled. Who are they? What happened to them? Naruto asked, looking away sadly. I believe you should find the answers yourself, find the truth yourself. You're closer to your father than you think, but your mother watches over you. Just look around. The fox's voice disappeared. Naruto stared into his apartment. It was dark and cold. He went over and turned his heater on, then opened up his blinds hanging from his window. The window was foggy, though clear enough to see out of it. Naruto watched as the snow fell on the ground covering the roads. Turning his gaze towards his picture frame that held the picture of T7 when they were younger. Sasuke, I miss you. I. Naruto looked at his old friend. He didn't know why, but the feeling of betrayal and sadness washed over him, enough to make tears swell up in his eyes. Another Christmas without Sasuke. Naruto mumbled as he wiped his tears away. He never spent a Christmas with his dear friend, but he always imagined what it would be like. An image of a beautiful lavender-eyed girl crossed his mind. Naruto looked back at his picture and gave a sad though happy smile. This year, I'll be spending it with someone special. Someone I deeply love. Naruto whispered before laying down on his bed, falling into a deep sleepy. Waking up, Naruto stared at the ceiling. Today was Christmas. Christmas. Hinata. Naruto hurried up and got dressed in his usual orange and black jumpsuit. Remembering that he had to pick up Hinata's gift since he fell asleep yesterday. Racing out the door, he ran towards the Hokage's tower as fast as he could. Racing from the top of buildings until he reached his destination, he jumped into the Hokage's office through her window. Ha, Naruto, damn you. You could have entered though the door. Tsunade snapped. Sorry, Granny Tsunade. Naruto said, giving her a sheepish grin. Anyways, do you have Hinata's necklace ready? Naruto asked curiously. Yes, but there is a problem. Tsunade sighed. What is it? Naruto asked. Look, Naruto, I know you're spending your Christmas with Hinata and all, but I need you to do a quick mission. You should be able to be back by nightfall. Tsunade informed. But I was going to with Hinata. Fine. Naruto grumbled. He was looking forward to spending time with Hinata. He wanted to make her Christmas special. But now, All you have to do is deliver this package to a mountain monk and his granddaughter, the tall mount in the west. All the bird carriers are busy since it's Christmas, and also that's why I need you. Tsunade sighed. After a few moments of silence, Naruto heard her whisper a sad, but simple, sorry. With that, the old Hokage got up and wrapped her hands around his head and kissed him on the forehead. What was that for? Naruto asked, confused. Merry Christmas, and be safe, Tsunade whispered in his ear. Naruto looked at her confused but gave a simple nod. I'll be back before night, and that's a promise. Can you explain to Hinata that I'm on a mission? Naruto asked. Of course, Tsunade said. When the boy left, Tsunade sighed. He forgot to take Hinata's gift, that idiot. She grumbled. With her simple last words, he looked at her, then disappeared out the window. Naruto was out of the village in a flash, heading towards the direction of the West Mountain. Sorry, Hinata. I guess I'll be late, Naruto whispered sadly off into the distance. Hinata awoke and leaped out of her bed excitedly. Today was hers and Naruto's days to be alone, on Christmas. She hurried and grabbed a change of clothes and hurried off to bathe. After bathing, she hurried and got dressed. She wore a special outfit that her mother wore on the first Christmas her mother and father spent with each other at her age. So now Hinata was wearing it, a pair of white jeans. They were a little tight, but it didn't bother Hinata. She wore a red long sleeve that matched a pair of red ninja sandals. She wore her mother's favorite necklace, which was a gold chain with a snowflake made out of white jewels. After she got dressed, she brushed her hair, then waited in her room. She knew Naruto mostly likely would take her out to breakfast, so she didn't bother to eat. Hinata waited patiently. The first hour went by. She thought nothing of it that he might have slept in. The second hour passed and she only thought that he had a busy day yesterday and was really tired. The third hour went by. She was becoming worried, only to push that feeling away. She knew Naruto was strong and that he was fine. The 4 hour passed and she began to think that he forgot about the date, but she stopped herself. Maybe he was struggling to find a gift for her, though she didn't really need one. After the 5th hour passed, she fell asleep on her bed silently. Naruto finally reached the mountain. All he had to do now was reach the top where there should be a house. And once again he began racing as fast as he could. Hinata woke to the sound of footsteps from outside her door. Rubbing her eyes, she got to her feet, slipped on a jacket and wrapped a scarf around her neck before leaving her room, to search for Naruto. Leaving the Hyuga compound, Hinata began wandering the streets of Konoha. Looking around, there was no sight of the blonde that she cared so much for. When she reached the busiest part of Konoha and looked around for her beloved, still nowhere in sight, but what she did see was her dear friend, Sakura. When Sakura turned around, the two girls' eyes met instantly. Sakura smiled and waved at her to come over to her. Hinata. Sakura waved, smiling. Hinata gave a weak smile and walked over to her friend. Hey Hinata, what are you doing out here? Sakura asked questioningly. Searching for Naruto-kun. Hinata stuttered sadly. Naruto, were you guys supposed to be together for today? Sakura asked with a smirk forming on her face. Why yes, but I can't seem to find him. I was waiting for him, but he didn't come. Hinata said, looking down at the ground that was covered in snow. Damn that Naruto. Stupid idiot, leaving his cute girlfriend alone on Christmas. Sakura shouted angrily, causing a scene. Maybe he just forgot. Hinata said, trying to calm her friend down. Probably. Stupid moron. Here, let's go to his apartment to see if he's there. While I'm there, I'm going to kick his ass, Sakura said, throwing her fist up in the air angrily. Hinata gulped nervously. She gave her friend a nod. When the two reached the boy's apartment, Sakura didn't even bother to knock. She just busted open the door. Hey Naruto, you moron, leaving your girlfriend alone on Christmas, Sakura yelled. Though there was no reply, the only sound was the two girls breathing. I guess he isn't here. Well, that's weird. How about we go ask Tsunade-sama if she knows where he is? Sakura said, looking at her friend's concerned expression. Oh, okay, Hinata whispered loud enough for the pink-haired girl to hear. What? Sakura shouted angrily at her teacher. It wasn't my fault, it's just we're low on ninja that don't want to go anywhere since it's Christmas, and Naruto happened to come by. Tsunade answered. And did Naruto want to go, or did you force him? Sakura asked, her eyes twitching. Well, I kind of asked him and forced him, but he freely said he would do it. Tsunade sighed. Tsunade-sama, you most likely knew Naruto wanted to spend his Christmas with Hinata. So you couldn't have picked anybody else. Sakura sighed angrily. Well, sometimes you have to sacrifice. Before the Hokage could finish her sentence, Sakura slammed her hand on her desk angrily. Don't talk sacrifices at this moment. You damn know Naruto has made many sacrifices for this whole village and still no one accepts him. Why? God, everyone pisses me off. Tsunade-sama, did you know that Naruto has spent every single one of his Christmases alone? Sakura growled angrily, trying to keep her temper calm, though it was obviously not working. Tsunade didn't answer her question. She knew what Naruto's life was like as a child, and she wanted to vomit at some of the things she heard. Naruto lost his parents, that he didn't even know, and everyone hated him in the village because of what was sealed within him. Yes, I know very damn well, Sakura. Don't you think I'm just as mad as myself right now? It's not my fault. I couldn't do anything about it. But one thing is for sure, he promised me he would be here before or a little bit after night. He never breaks a promise. Tsunade said, looking at her student and the shy girl behind her. Sakura was about to open her mouth to argue, but she kept it shut for a few moments. It's okay, Sakura-chan. I'm sure he'll be here before night. The shy girl stammered. Sakura turned to look at her friend's face with a sad expression. Look, Hinata, I'm not just doing this for you. I'm also doing this for Naruto. I'm tired of seeing him alone, but now that he has you, he shouldn't be alone like the past. Sakura muttered. Before Hinata could respond, Sakura turned back to the Hokage. Fine, there is nothing I can do about it, and arguing won't make Naruto come back and faster. Sakura muttered before turning to exit. Hinata bowed and followed her friend until Sakura stopped. Merry Christmas, Sakura muttered before leaving with Hinata at her side. Naruto reached the top of the mountain almost easily, though he had some tough times since it was snowing. He slipped a few times and it was hard to race through the heavy snow, but he still made it. He instantly noticed a small shack with smoke floating out of the chimney. Walking up to the door, he knocked a couple of times until he waited for her answer. Naruto began to become impatient when they didn't answer. After a minute or two, the door finally creaked open and Naruto almost dropped the package in surprise and disbelief. Naruto-sama. The girl squealed in disbelief. Sora, is that you? Naruto asked questioningly. Yep, it's me. She grinned. Suddenly her old man walked up behind her with a smile. Here you go. Naruto chuckled as he handed her the package. Thanks. Sora smiled, handing it to the old man, which seemed to be her grandpa. God, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? You're a lot taller and more prettier now. Naruto grinned, rubbing the back of his head. When Sora heard this, her face became red immediately. Thank you. She stammered. Naruto remembered he was on a time schedule, so he wanted to hurry home as fast as he could to Hinata. I'm kind of on a time schedule, so I have to get going, but come over to Konoha and visit any time. Naruto said. Sora looked disappointed in his response but looked at him, a fire burning in her eyes. Of course, Naruto-sama. Tell Hinata-sama I said hi, and Merry Christmas. Sora smiled. Of course. Naruto grinned. Naruto then waved and began off as the two watched him from behind. Naruto wondered his Hinata was okay. Was she mad at him, or was she disappointed in him? Naruto knew that Hinata was either one of the two or was feeling something different. It hurt him to think that Hinata was probably mad at him or something else. His heart ached painfully. He wanted to see Hinata on this special day. I'll promise I'll make it up to you, Hinata. Naruto whispered quietly. When Hinata walked through the park in Konoha, she stared at the loving couples in the park. Her heart ached. She wished Naruto was here right now. Hinata gave herself a mental kick. Quit being so greedy, Hinata. Hinata thought angrily at herself. Hinata looked up at the gray sky. She felt lonely. Was this how Naruto felt when he was younger? No, it was worse. He was completely alone, and nobody was by his side. No one cared. But that was when she realized she was wrong. She cared for him, she loved him, but she was just simply too shy to speak to him. Hinata felt wet tears streaming down her face. The thoughts of what Naruto went through as a child was too much for her, and she knew it would get to her, but she couldn't stop thinking about it. Would it have been different if she was there for him earlier? That thought always crossed her mind. Would Naruto not have been so lonely if she had the courage to speak to him? To confess her love to him? Hinata began walking on an empty path in the park that was covered in snow. She couldn't stop her tears. Once tears fell down her face, there was no way she could fight them off, especially if they were because of Naruto's childhood. Who wouldn't feel bad or cry if they had a childhood like him? All these thoughts made Hinata feel dizzy till she rested beside a tree. Sure, it was icy cold, but it didn't bother her, she could handle it. Hinata slumped down on the ground, holding her knees to her chest and resting head on her knees. She couldn't fight back her tears. Hinata stared at the snow beneath her, tears causing them to become slush. Eventually her emotions took over her and she fell asleep. Hinata awoke to the sound of footsteps. Lifting her face up tiredly, she saw Sai staring at her awkwardly. Hinata, what are you doing out here? Sai asked with a dumbfounded look on his face. J, just taking a rest. W, what are you doing out here, Sai-kun? Hinata responded. Just taking a stroll. How long have you been resting? You seem paler than usual. Sai asked. Hinata noticed the sun was setting. How long was she out? Oh, only for a light while. Don't worry. She lied. She didn't want to make him concerned. She hated it when people thought of her as weak and always concerned for her well-being. Well, if you don't mind, can you stand up for a minute? Sai asked. You, I'm sure. Hinata responded with a wondering glance. When Hinata got to her feet, Sai looked at her and pulled out scroll and began drawing on it. In less than a minute he breathed out. Done. Sai smiled, one of his usually creepy weird smiles. Sai turned the scroll so it would face her. Hinata was surprised to see herself next to a snowy tree. Or amazing. Hinata responded. Thanks, here you can have it. Sai said, handing it to her. Thank you. Hinata smiled shyly, taking the scroll from his hands when he handed it to her. I have to say Naruto got lucky. Sai said. Hinata wondered what he meant by that, but her thoughts was soon broken when he left, saying goodbye. Goodbye. Hinata said loudly enough for him to hear. Hinata looked down at the scroll and smiled. She looked up at the dark but beautiful colored sky. She decided it was time to return home. That's if Naruto actually made it back, then he could go get her. Walking back to the compound, all Hinata could wonder if Naruto was okay. After a few minutes she reached the compound and entered the gates. Instead of going to her room, she sat on the edge of the wooden hallway to look out at the moon. She sighed as the cold, icy breeze traveled past her. Watching as the snow dropped down, she felt a shiver up her spine. She thought of taking a nice hot bath, but she decided not. Naruto raced through the forest. He could see the gates just a little far ahead. Zooming past the gate, he hurried to the Hokage's office where he left Hinata's gift to be safe so he wouldn't lose it. Jumping building to building, he made it in no time. Jumping into the room, the Hokage groaned. Look, you see, I'm a bit busy. The Hokage stopped her sentence to stare at the boy in front of her. Where is Hinata's gift? Naruto asked. Tsunade just gave a chuckle in response. Opening her drawer, she fished out the small box. Finding it, she handed it to him. I'm glad you're back safe, she said with relief. Naruto gave her a wide grin. Merry Christmas. And with those last words he was gone. Naruto raced through to the compound quickly. He reached T in a matter of minutes. He didn't want to disturb anyone, so he leaped on the top of the building and began racing around quietly. He went to go check her room only to stop to see a girl sitting on the wooden hallway looking out at the moon. Apparently she was either too focused on the moon to not see him or was lost in her thoughts. Naruto watched her expressionless face. After a few moments he noticed a tear sliding down her cheek. Surprised, he hoped and landed next to her side instantly. The girl looked at him in surprise. Naruto wiped her tears and smiled to her. Merry Christmas, Hinata, Naruto said, then pressed his lips to hers. The kiss was full of love, passion, and a little bit of sadness. Naruto pulled away from her and grabbed her hand softly. Sorry I'm late, Naruto whispered to her. It's okay. Why, you were busy? I understand. Hinata smiled at him. I promise I'll make it up to you, but it will be on a special day. Naruto smiled to her. Previously. Merry Christmas, Hinata, Naruto said, then pressed his lips to hers. The kiss was full of love, passion, and a little bit of sadness. Naruto pulled away from her and grabbed her hand softly. Sorry I'm late, Naruto whispered to her. It's okay. Why, you were busy? I understand. Hinata smiled at him. I promise I'll make it up to you, but it will be on a special day. Naruto smiled to her. Hinata gave him a shy nod. She knew he would make her feel special every day, even if he wasn't there with her. Oh, Naruto's eyes lit up with excitement, though Hinata noticed fear hidden within them. Naruto started fidgeting his pocket until he pulled out a small silver box with a ribbon tied to it. Here you go Hinata-chan, it might not be much but, Hinata stopped him by resting her hand on his shoulder. Why you really didn't have to get me anything. Hinata said quietly while looking down. Naruto smiled as he grabbed her hand and she looked at him in surprise. Naruto gently but sweetly kissed her hand as he looked at her beautiful lavender eyes. Hinata stared straight into his deep blue ocean eyes. I wanted to get you something though, so please just take it. Naruto said while looking at her with serious eyes. Oh okay, but let me go and grab your presents. Hinata stammered as she rushed away only to come back in a matter of seconds. Here you go Naruto-kun, I hope you like them. Hinata stuttered as she handed him his wrapped presents and he handed Hinata her present as well. The two both opened their presents and Hinata let out the first gasp. Naruto swung his head to face her to see any signs of disapproval of his gift but all he could see was disbelief and happiness. Naruto then looked down at his presents. There was a pair of orange gloves that he hurried and slipped them on, then he opened up another box to see a brand new ninja tool set. Naruto smiled, he was beyond happy right now. He looked at Hinata only to be surprised when he saw tears running down her face. She then slowly turned to face him with a smile on her face. Thank you Naruto-kun, I love it. Hinata exclaimed happily. I should be thanking you Hinata, for loving me, and much more. Thank you for everything. Naruto tried to smile but his lips were quivering in happiness, he wanted to cry. Naruto slowly wrapped his arms around the surprised Hinata whose tears were still falling. Hinata returned his hug and wrapped her arms around his back. She loved the feeling of his back, it was so big and strong she felt safe. After a few minutes Naruto broke the hug to give her a passionate kiss. I love you so much Hinata. Naruto whispered in ear after he nibbled on her earlobe. Suddenly they heard footsteps coming and Naruto body tensed. I'll see you tomorrow, Naruto said and Hinata gave him a nod and with that he was gone into the snowy night. Naruto-kun. Hinata whispered. Looking over she saw Neji Tiredly walk over to her and sat next to her. That idiot, Neji mumbled. Hinata smiled at her sleepy cousin's remark. He's my idiot. Hinata whispered quietly as she looked down at the necklace he gave her then putting it on quickly. When she was done she looked up at the moon and smiled. Thank you. After a couple of days after Christmas Naruto, Kiba, Shikamaru, Sakura, Ino, and Hinata was standing in the Hokage's office. Listen up. You three boys are going undercover at a New Year's Eve party. A mistress's husband has stolen a very powerful sword. Tsunade informed. Sai and Kiba you're going to act as guards, and Naruto you will try to win the mistress's heart, because I heard apparently she loves men with blonde hair, and Hinata Sakura and Ino you are going to try to lure the mistress's husband out of the party until Naruto and the others find the sword. Tsunade yelled louder than she needed to. Naruto didn't like the idea of Hinata being with the husband, but he knew he had the worst job. To put it simply he didn't like this mission at all. Mirai-san here is going to lead you guys to the party. You have 3 days to get there, this mission is to not be failed, do you hear me? Tsunade growled. The group nodded in reply. Good, you also have to hide your chakra, you are not to be seen as ninja. So when you are at least 2 miles from the village hide your chakra. You will then go to Mirai-san's house and she had suits for you men, and dresses for you girls. Now go. Do not fail this mission. Meet by the gate at dusk. Tsunade ordered them. All 7 of the people walked out of the office sighed in relief. When the group went to split up Naruto hurried and pecked Hinata on the lips then ran off to his apartment to get ready leaving a surprised girl behind. When Naruto got ready he noticed he still had enough time to go over to Hinata's and walk with her to the gate, and that's what he did. Hey Hinata-chan since I was done getting ready I thought we could walk to the gates together. Naruto said giving her a sheepish smile. I would like that. Hinata stammered shyly. Alright, let's go then so we aren't late. Naruto grinned. Naruto began walking and Hinata followed behind him. Naruto noticed after a few moments that Hinata was behind him deep in her thoughts so he waited for her until he was at her side he lowered his hand and intertwined his fingers with hers which caught her attention. Hinata looked at Naruto whose face had a light pink tint blush. Hinata smiled warmly as she turned back to look at her surroundings. When the two reached the gate Mirai, Ino, Sakura, and Sai was already there waiting for the rest of the group. When Sai pointed to the couple, the girls looked over to see where he was pointed. They smirked when they saw the couple holding hands. Hey guys, where is Kiba? Naruto asked when they reached the group. He was going to go get Hinata, but looks like she already left. Ino smirked. Yay, I went to get her since I finished my packing a little early. Naruto shrugged. I hope Kiba-kun isn't mad. Hinata said quietly while looking down. Oh look, here comes Kiba right now. Sakura answered. Naruto turned to see Kiba walking up to them with aka Maru by his side. Already looks like everybody is here, let's go. Sakura announced loudly. The group began walking out the gates and Kiba hurried to catch up to them. Oh right, Mirai-san, the one with the blonde hair is Naruto, as Tsunade Sama pointed out. The man with the brown spiky hair is Kiba over there with his dog aka Maru. And the shy girl with lavender eyes is Hinata. Ino pointed out. I see, thank you. Mirai smiled. Naruto looked at the girl. She was about their age, with long black hair, she had a tan skin tone, and had sky blue eyes. She was wearing white hoodie with black pants with black sandals. So Mirai, where are you from? Naruto asked. Me. Well, I'm from the village hidden in the grass. Mirai answered. Okay, so what happened exactly? Naruto asked. Mirai looked away, but before she did, Naruto could see her calm expression change to sadness and grief. You don't have to tell me, just forget I asked. Naruto told her and she looked at him, giving him a thankful nod. So can you explain to us what the mistress and her husband looks like? Naruto asked. The mistress? Well, she has long blonde hair, and blue eyes like you. She's somewhere in her 20s. Since she is from a rich family, her husband is also from a rich family. The husband has short blonde hair and hazel eyes, he's tall and has a scar across forehead. He is a very kind and gentle man. Mirai finished. I see, are you friends with the mistress's husband? Naruto asked. Yes, we are close friends, though me and his wife do not get along. I saw something I wasn't supposed to one day, which was the sword that was stolen from my cousin. She threatened to kill me if I said something, so I kept quiet until now. So I went to Konoha to ask for help, so at the party you guys are my friends. Mirai said with a painful expression. It's okay, I promise to get the sword back for you guys. Naruto grinned. Mirai just looked down sadly. Naruto knew something was bothering her, but he decided not to push her. He could always ask more questions later. He already had one question in mind about what was so special about the sword, like if it had a power to make it powerful like Tsunade informed them. As the sun began to go down, the group decided it was time to set up camp. Kiba and Sai started putting up the tents, the girls went to go find wood, and Naruto was to fill up everyone's jugs of water by a nearby river, though he had to crack the ice since it was frozen. When Naruto finished filling the jugs, he began walking back. Reaching the camp, he saw everybody's tents were up and they already started a fire. Sakura was speaking to Mirai, Ino and Sai were talking to each other, and Kiba was sitting alone by the fire, lost in his thoughts. Naruto sat down everybody's drink. He looked around for Hinata. Where is Hinata? Naruto asked. Hinata? Oh, she had to go to the bathroom if you want to see her. Sakura smirked. Naruto's face went red in a matter of seconds. DDD, don't say such dirty things, Sakura. Naruto yelled angrily. Whatever you say. Sakura laughed and went back to talking to Mirai. Well, I'll be back. Naruto muttered. Decided to go see her after all. Sakura laughed. And no, I'm going for a walk. Naruto snapped loudly while stomping off. When he was far away enough, he dropped his shoulders, then sighed. Naruto closed his eyes. He didn't forget about his promise. Work, work. Naruto opened his eyes to see the familiar dark sewer. It worked. Following the path towards the Kyuubi's cage, he was met with a low growl. Hey Kyuubi. Naruto beamed. The Kyuubi ignored his response by turning away. Hey, don't be such a grump. Naruto snapped. I promised I would visit you more, ya no. Naruto yelled. The Kyuubi's response was a low chuckle. What do you want, Naruto? The Kyuubi growled. Just to see how you were doing. Naruto responded. It's the same as ever, trapped in this cage. The Kyuubi remarked. Well, there is not much I can really do about it. Naruto exclaimed. You could release the seal. The fox grumbled. Yay, and WHO knows what you're going to do if I let you out. Naruto responded. The Kyuubi didn't respond to the boy's words. And I actually kind of like you being in my stomach. Naruto grinned. The Kyuubi looked at Naruto with a little bit of surprise but then looked away. Don. T speak such nonsense. The Kyuubi grumbled. It's true though. Naruto said. But before the Kyuubi could say anything, Naruto's eyes opened his eyes to see Sakura staring at him angrily. Before he could say anything, Sakura pushed him, making him fly into a tree. Naruto opened his eyes and he got to his feet. What was that for Sakura? Naruto yelled angrily. I have been trying to get your attention for at least 20 minutes now. Sakura yelled angrily. No sighed and he noticed it was dark out. Well, let's get back to camp then. Naruto mumbled. Sakura was about to argue since she thought Naruto would put up more of a fight but was surprised when he didn't. She gave him a nod and began following him. When the two reached back to camp, everybody looked at him. Naruto noticed Hinata was sitting by herself away from everyone. Walking over to Hinata, he sat down next to her and intertwined his fingers with hers. She looked at him and smiled shyly and he returned the smile and gave her a quick kiss but tender kiss on the lips. Hey, if you're going to kiss then go somewhere else. Kiba grumbled jealously. You. Just jealous that you don't have a girlfriend as beautiful as Hinata-chan to kiss, like me. Naruto smirked evilly. Kiba's response was a low, an angry growl, and AKAMARU barked, which seemed like a laugh for dogs. Whatever, I'm going to bed. Let's go AKAMARU. Kiba said angrily as he crawled into his tent with his dog following him. I'm going to do the same, I'm pretty tired. Ino mumbled and Sakura nodded in agreement and the two left. I'll be going to sleep too. Mirai said and she crawled into her tent. Same with me. Sai mumbled and left to his tent. Naruto and Hinata was the last ones sitting by the fire. They were alone. After a few moments, Naruto turned to face Hinata. Who was looking at the fire. She turned her gaze to him and he smiled while bringing his free hand up to cup her cheek. He leaned in and gave her a passionate kiss. The kiss was slow and tender. Naruto licked her bottom lip to ask for permission and she greeted him with parted lips. Their tongues danced around, exploring each other's mouths. After a few moments, he took his hand away from her cheek and rested it behind her as he began leaning over her. He felt her small hand rest on his chest. They kept their ACT up for a while until they parted so they could breathe. When they both caught their breath, Naruto began their ACT again, but he untwined his fingers from hers and started to rub her hips. Hinata was too dazed by the kiss to hear Naruto unzipping her jacket. Only then did she return back to reality when she felt Naruto's hands just below her breast, and her whole body tensed. Naruto felt her body tense and backed away. Sorry, I was taking it too far. Naruto said, looking away in shame. Truth to be told, he was having a hard time controlling himself around his girlfriend, and slowly he was slipping up. It's fine, I was just shocked, that's all. Hinata answered. Hinata, whenever I'm making you feel uncomfortable, please tell me. I don't want to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Naruto said, looking her straight in the eyes. Oh, okay. Hinata responded. Well, it's getting pretty late, so let's go to bed. Naruto said while getting up. Hinata felt a little disappointed but nodded in agreement. Naruto hurried and crawled into his tent, then undressed himself until he was only in his boxes, then slipped into his sleeping bag. Naruto stared at his hands then sighed. I was so close. Naruto mumbled quietly so no one could hear him, but he knew over time he would have many more chances, and with that positive thought he fell asleep. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.